Hello my friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today I felt called to do a general love reading instead of a zodiac one, so that's what I'm here doing. And we're going to look at what energy is surrounding you or you're connected to, and also at what's coming towards you. So you'll know if this is your reading if you're resonating with this deck. There's also some noise interference outside, so hopefully you can hear me through it. I've been waiting for them to finish working to do this reading, and it was just quiet for a long amount of time, and then now they're making noise again. So we'll see how this goes. You might also hear music because they're listening to music. But yeah, let's get into it. So I always say intuitively you'll know if this is your reading, and if something feels off, then probably not your reading. If you find yourself listening to it and getting distracted, or maybe you're listening to it on your phone and you keep getting distracted and opening up other apps and not hearing what I'm saying, that's usually a good indication for me, anyway, that the reading isn't for me. But if you find yourself gripping on every word and everything's resonating, then it's your reading, and only you know if it's your reading. So let's get into it. On the bottom, we have Earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So you could be dealing with an Earth sign. Oh, here we go. We have soul connection, soulmate. So you could be, that's pretty much all I channel. So it feels like you are dealing with a soul connection here. Or someone you feel is your soulmate. We have the sneaky card falling down here, which is kind of like Seven of Swords. And then we have healing. So you could be healing from a situation where there was Seven of Swords behavior. If you're not familiar what that is, Seven of Swords behavior is, avoidance, deceit, sometimes karmic interference, manipulation, and we have healing. So it feels like you could be healing from a situation where you were connected to someone like that. The other thing this could show is that the person you're connected to who's in that Seven of Swords energy is actually starting to heal and starting to do the inner work, taking accountability, acknowledging their Seven of Swords behavior. I cannot believe all of a sudden he's using that machine again. All right. One more shuffle. We have the universe and fire sign. So there could be a fire placement here. Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. And I hear sirens. So sirens are a sign of protection. I don't hear sirens out my way a lot. I live in a very quiet area. So you could be, it says trust in the universe here. And that's when I started hearing the sirens. So I feel like you need to trust that right now you're being protected from this person. Let's say you're in no contact and they had that Seven of Swords energy. Trust in the universe that it was for your own protection is what I'm hearing. There could be a lot of interference or outside interference with this connection, just because of all the interference that's already happening in this reading. So let's see what do we got? What do we got? We have divine. So this could be a divine connection. It says divine union. And we have triggered. Just like that noise is triggering me. I'm going to shut my effing window. Hang on. Much better. Maybe you shut your window, Maybe this was a connection that was very triggering, or you triggered something within this person, and maybe maybe they shut you out or you shut them out. I feel like it was for your own protection with that siren. But we do have divine union could be the one, and we have triggered. Emotional, provoked overthinking. So especially with this divine energy coming through, It's funny, I was taking a break from twin flame readings today, Spirit, but I guess you have other plans for me. So counterpart connections, divine connections are very triggering because they're meant to trigger the unhealed parts. They're meant to trigger our unhealed wounds. So I feel like that's the situation we're dealing with. And we have music. Your song, signs through music, musician. So before I started this reading, when I was kind of waiting for the noise to quiet down, the guy across the street was listening to I'm Coming Out. I think that's the name of the song, which is an interesting song. I'm sure you know the one I mean. I'm coming out, I want the world to know, got to let it show, that song. So music could be symbolic for this connection. You could get signs and synchronicities through music, and the person you're connected to could also get signs through music. You could have been dealing with a musician. All right, well, let's see what you need to know first, and then we'll look at this person. And I actually have 2 oracle decks that we're going to use today. So what do we need to know about this soul connection? We have ego. Yeah, that 7 of Swords energy, that is ego. So you could have been dealing with someone who is not willing to go within and do the inner work because their ego is blocking it. And our ego tries to protect us, but it actually ends up self-sabotaging us. So a lot of people, when they encounter conflict or someone says, hey, you did this thing and it made me feel this way, their ego responds. So you could have been dealing with someone who had, you triggered their ego. Think of the Strength card, or I'm even seeing the 6 of Wands in reverse, like a bruised ego. So instead of, apologizing or reflecting, they kind of react like that lion because they have a bruised ego. It does say actions from a place of fear. So whoever you were connected to, their actions were coming from a place of fear. Yeah, they weren't listening to their intuition. Their ego took over. And you could have known this with intuition on the bottom. You could have known that you were getting this person's ego. We have finances. So this ego card also says focused on material things. And now we have finances, focused on career, money, workaholic. So I definitely feel like you were dealing with someone who is more focused on material things or their image or their ego or work than on you. And you could have intuitively known this. And maybe when you tried to bring it up, they became quite triggered. This could also be what you are going through right now. It feels like this person, instead of focusing on commitment, they were more focused on their career path or their money. You could have been dealing with someone who had a fear of commitment or had a fear of giving up their independence. Like I said, prioritizing work over you. And this could be the energy that you're in now. Rather than focusing on this connection, you could be very focused on your career now. So we have separation and we have balance. And this says work. So there's definitely an energy here. You have 3 cards talking about work. And I'm not here to make excuses for your person. But people who are more focused on work, that does come from a wound. It can come from the values that their parents kind of pushed onto them. Maybe they had a parent who, told them that if they didn't have money, they weren't worth anything, that work comes first. There's been times even in my life where I've prioritized work over what I thought I should be doing with my life. And one example that's coming to mind is, after I got married, I decided, it was like a year after I got married, I decided, my intuition was telling me it's time to have children. It's time to think about having kids. And the day that I made the decision with my partner that we were gonna, we wanted to start working towards having a family, I went into work and they promoted me. And I ended up going home and telling my partner, you know what? I'm going to focus on my career instead of children, instead of having children. I want to focus on this promotion because I came from a household where we were all workaholics. Like if you weren't working, you didn't have value. So that's just an example. So it feels like there was something out of balance here within this connection. I'm seeing Two of Pentacles energy, so I feel like this person probably had a hard time balancing work and love. Or they could have just been, prioritizing things that fed their ego, like partying or hanging out with, friends, those types of things. And we have separation on the bottom. So it feels like something energetically was out of balance, which put you into separation. And I talk about energetic balance all the time, and about how if there's not energetic balance, if there's not equal give and take and reciprocity, the connection can't flourish, the connection can't grow. The energy becomes tangled. And I often show you guys with like, do I have anything I can show you with? Oh, my necklace. Hang on. Yes, for those of you who have seen this, I'm doing it again. So let's say this thumb. I don't know why, but I'm getting like, I feel a little silly doing this, but you know that children's rhyme? Like there was 5 in the bed and the little one said, roll over, roll over. So they all rolled over and one fell out. I don't know why that's coming to my mind. Anyway, so this is you, or actually just 2 people in an energetic connection. When you're both giving, right, the energy flows down one energetic cord, up the other to the other person. The energy flows, right? And it's happy and it's fulfilling and it's nourishing. But when there's one person overgiving and the other one isn't prioritizing the connection, let's say it's this one not prioritizing the connection, what happens is that the person not prioritizing the connection, when there's not equal give and take, these energetic cords become twisted like this. And then energy can't flow. So it becomes stagnant. There's arguments. And the only way to untangle it, like if you try, I'm not saying that you can't work it out by having a conversation and talking about it, because I know there's lots of people out there that can have, mature conversations and work towards repairing the balance. But what I'm seeing here is that you could have tried to repair this balance, but whoever you were connected to was in their ego, acting from a place of fear. And what happens is those energetic cords just keep getting twisted. And the only way for them to untwist is kind of for like a separation so that the energy can balance back out and they can have, their realizations or whatever they're doing. So it feels like this separation is leading to a rebirth here, a healed rebirth. So there was definitely something unhealed within this connection. And oftentimes when there's like someone unhealed or you're both unhealed, the healing happens, especially in a divine connection, the healing happens in separation. It can't happen when you're butting heads and triggering each other. It happens in separation. And yesterday in the Capricorn, yesterday in the Capricorn reading, I was talking about how, specifically with twin flames, the feminine can't awaken and rise into their feminine power and their mission and come into inner union when their counterpart is in their energy and they're being like, you're both triggering each other and there's unhealed wounds. So what happens, kind of like the window that I was talking about shutting, what happens is the universe puts up an energetic wall almost to protect the feminine. There's the siren. Just as I'm talking about protection again. So anyway, so there's an energetic wall that comes up, and usually the masculine counterpart, not talking about gender, there's always a reason for that energetic wall going up. And then the feminine focuses on the 3D story of why the wall went up, when really you have to trust in the universe that the wall went up for a reason, to protect you. Listen, it went up to protect you so that you could, you know, turn into this lotus flower. Anyway, what are you? We have hope. Don't lose faith. Stay positive. All right, let's keep going. So yeah, we have red flags under separation. So there were red flags here. And that, you know, that is something that happens in connections like this, is there are red flags, but because the divine feminine usually has all this love for the masculine, they tend to overlook some of those red flags for a while. And eventually the universe is like, you know what? That's enough red flags. Up goes the energetic wall to protect you. So it feels like, you know, maybe you didn't even see these red flags until you were in separation. All right, so this separation was meant so that there could be a rebirth. We have manifest and self-love. So law of attraction, within reach, positive mindset. So there's definitely something about trying to keep a positive mindset. And self-love. So this separation was meant for you to come into union with yourself, which is kind of what I was saying about that energetic wall, about the feminine, you know, coming into inner union. Again, not talking about gender. Yeah, twin flame, I told you. And I just have to stress, and somebody left a comment about this as well, that this, you know, the counterpart connection, the twin flame connection, it gets mistaken for, because you feel this intense love and this intense soul bond with this person, but they're actually a part of your soul. And the love and intensity that you feel for them, which sometimes you prioritize them over your own worth, you prioritize them over your own healing. Maybe you put them up on a pedestal. It's because they are an extension of you on a soul level. And this journey is actually not, I mean, there are twin flames out there that aren't romantic, but this journey isn't about like a fairy tale happy ending. This journey is about coming into inner union with yourself, learning to unconditionally love yourself, to learn how to put up boundaries, to learn how to speak your truth, to heal fear of abandonment, fear of rejection, to heal overgiving, to heal the trauma that's kept you stuck. And I saw someone left a comment about how, like, there goes Millie woofing, like not barking, but just woof. I saw a comment, someone said, and the only reason I'm bringing this comment up is to bring awareness to this mindset, but someone said, I guess union will never happen, because how are you supposed to heal when your parents traumatized you and they won't apologize? That's the thing. You need to be able to heal without the apology. And that's like the first thing I learned when I started therapy all those years ago, because that was my problem, is I was holding on to all this resentment about my childhood. And my therapist told me, you have to forgive your parents. And I said, well, they'll never apologize. And she said, but you need to forgive them without the apology. That forgiveness is not about the other person. Forgiveness is about you. And again, if you've been here a while, you already know what I'm about to do. But anytime you hold resentment towards someone, it's like picking up a heavy weight. So this person hurt me. This person hurt me. This person hurt me. This person hurt me. And what if they never apologize? Then for the rest of your life, you're carrying around this baggage. And again, forgiveness doesn't mean what the person did was okay. It's not about excusing bad behavior and letting them back into your life. It's about releasing the heaviness that it's caused you to carry around. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, you want to come out, that's fine. So I'm just going to get a few more here because I just feel... I'm also, you know what, I'm just going to say it. I'm wondering if the Two of Pentacles is going to come out of the tarot deck. I just want to call it right now. Because I got a download about the Two of Pentacles card in a certain tarot deck. So I chose that tarot deck today because I'm interested to see if it's going to come out. So we're just going to get, I just want, why am I doing that? Look, apology. As I just talked about forgiveness. So unfortunately, we have to learn how to forgive without getting that apology. And again, it doesn't mean like if this person really hurt you, I'm not saying, oh, you should just forgive them. And then when they walk back into your life, just sweep it all under the carpet like nothing happened and move forward. That's not what I'm saying at all. But there are people out there who, you know, the person who harmed them, they never speak to again, and they need to release that without ever getting an apology. I hope I'm making sense. Anyway, is there a Capricorn watching? Let's just get a couple more. Let's get two more for the top. Two more for the top. We have higher level of commitment. So it does feel like this is a soul contract meant to teach you lessons, possibly about forgiveness and self-love. And you know, boundaries. And we have air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. All right. And this higher level of commitment is Taurus energy. All right. So I want to see what is going on with your person. The person you're connected to. Let's have a look at them. The person you're connected to. What can you tell me about the person? All right, so we've got let go on the bottom. Leave what no longer serves you. That is a lesson of the divine feminine, is to not accept less than you deserve, even if it is your counterpart, even if it is your soulmate, even if it is blah, 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 like whoever it is, and to relinquish control. There's so many lessons for the divine feminine, like learning how to trust their intuition, learning to let go of the outcome, learning to let go of control, learning to not chase, healing codependency, healing old wounds. Like it's a journey for a reason. And again, the journey is about you. Oh my gosh, this reading is so intense. So yeah, we have conflict, and that's exactly what I was talking about with the energy, about how when the energy is twisted, that's when there's arguments, that's when there's the triggers, and you start butting heads, and there's no way to see eye to eye until somebody lets go. And, you know, either the divine feminine walks away, puts up boundaries, or if the divine feminine is trying to hold on to it and hold on to control and control the outcome, what happens is the universe will put up that energetic wall, and it'll come in the form of, you know, whatever your person told you when they walked away or ran from this connection. I hope that makes sense. So your person, emotional, there's a dark cloud over them, which is interesting because it was sunny until I started this reading, and then the dark clouds rolled in. So they're going through a difficult time right now. They are feeling very triggered. Emotional upheaval, which makes me think of the Tower card. So your person is going through some sort of upheaval. And that's what happens on the counterpart journey. We have divine timing. So there is an element of, you know, this is happening how it's supposed to. It is out of your control. There's nothing you can do right now except focus on your self-love, focus on healing, focus on, you know, releasing resentment. Look, we have walk away. I told you. So I feel like this person walked away from this connection, or like I just had that download about how either the feminine walks away or the universe aligns things, divine intervention throws a tower in there to separate the two of you. Because, you know, I'm someone on this journey, and I know that some divine feminines will hold on to that as long as they can. And it's almost like the universe has to remove it from you, because especially if you're stubborn, especially if you're stubborn and you like a challenge. So this is really interesting. So we talked about a dark cloud being over this person. We talked about this is happening in divine timing. Trust the universe. The universe is in the driver's seat right now. I'm hearing the song, Jesus Take the Wheel. And we have leave with regret, and you can see a dark cloud over your person. So this person has regret over whatever caused you to walk away, or they have regret about pushing this connection away and walking away. They have sadness and regret about their past actions, and they're going through karma. The energy down here is completely different. And it's out of your control. And clearly this was no longer serving you in the, you know, the way this person was showing up. Holding on was like, and trying to control the outcome was no longer serving you either, I don't think. Let's get one more card for your person. All right. So we do have soulmate. So this person does feel a strong connection with you. And we have intuition and we have communication. So it could be that this person, that's interesting. We also have celebrate, which I don't think your person is celebrating at all. But the immediate, like the first thing I heard is you could have a birthday coming up, or they have a birthday coming up, or maybe for some of you, this celebrate card is about you being happy when they reach out. But this celebrate card to me feels birthday related, because it just doesn't, it does not fall in line with their energy, other than if you have a birthday or they have a birthday coming up, or you have recently accomplished something that they know of that they want to congratulate you about, maybe. But their intuition right now is telling them to reach out to you. And this celebrate card is actually very symbolic of the Four of Wands and about returning home, or like reunion energy. So it'll be interesting to see what else comes out for them. Where do I want to put this? Let's do that. All right. We're going to get this one too. We're just going to get a few from this deck. Difficulties. So there has been difficulties in this connection. They'll stop in a minute. It's funny, my dogs can read energy. I don't know if you believe in that, but I believe animals and babies and children can read energy because they're not programmed like adults are. And ever since the person across the street started working across the street, I've gotten like, I was seeing red flags. And my dogs seem to feel the same way. Anyway, I just find that interesting. That's what my dogs are barking at these days, is they really do not like the guy working across the street. And that's kind of the energy that I Yes, that's the energy that I get as well. Look, let go, release, release and control. If it's meant to be, it'll come back to you. If it's not meant to be, your arms are open for something better, right? Please stop. We have routine. You could be working on your routine right now. All right, let's cut the deck. Oh my gosh, look at that. Communicate. I figured this was going to be about communication. Yeah, someone's feeling intuitively like communicating with you. And you could feel this coming. That's interesting. Same energy, exact same energy. Someone's feeling motivated to reach out to you, to want to have a conversation with you. And look at this. On the bottom of the tarot deck that I got a download about, we have the Nine of Swords in reverse, which is about having an honest conversation. It's about healing and recovery. So once there's been healing, then there can be that new beginning. And then we have the King of Swords, which is about, I feel like this has been very stuck and stagnant, but the King of Swords, you have someone who's gaining clarity, trying to figure out what to say to you here, wanting to communicate a truth with you. Air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Oh my gosh. Look at what's on the bottom of that other deck. Forgiveness. And I had that download about forgiveness. All right. I mean, that was on the top of this deck, the first deck that I used, on the bottom, I mean. All right, let's just see. I'm going to leave this one open, Spirit. What do you want us to know about this? Oh my gosh. What do you want us to know about this? What do you want us to know about this? So this is someone... Yes! Protection! Yes! When I heard that siren, I could see this. This is on my table by my crystal ball, and that's all I could see in my crystal ball was this eye of protection when I was talking about the siren and protection. That's crazy pants. Protection! You have been being protected from this person because they were unhealed. I'm telling you. This is freaking magical, Spirit. Thank you. So it was almost like the universe was deflecting this negative energy away from you, because maybe for some of you, again, maybe you're quite stubborn and you are quite determined to make it work with someone who is unhealed. And what did I talk about? When both of you are unhealed, it's impossible to come together. I called it. I said it. It's unfinished. This is unfinished. And I also talked about that thing about healing childhood trauma. And back to that comment I got, and again, I'm not calling anybody out. I just want to explain it. I am someone that never thought I could heal from my childhood wounds without having a conversation with my parents and like getting them to apologize. And I thought I would be forever triggered by some of that stuff. But through healing, through shadow work, never got an apology. I've been able to heal. Of course, there's things I'm still working on. But now the things that used to trigger me no longer trigger me. And I never got that apology. You know, all my life I was triggered by raised voices and yelling and things like that. And that I can remember even in like 2022, I heard my kids were playing downstairs and they were being quite loud, and I thought something was wrong, and I like had a panic attack because I was having I was being triggered by that trauma. I've since healed that. So you can heal it without that apology, but it takes shadow work. It takes recognizing the trigger. Then when that trigger comes up, being there for yourself in that trigger and reminding yourself where that trigger comes from. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking about that now, but this is all making sense. So back to the cards. I don't know what this is. Yes, we have epiphany, clarity, new understanding. So this person is gaining clarity with that King of Swords, and I feel like you're having a breakthrough as well. There's a breakthrough coming to this connection, and I was seeing the Two of Swords in reverse under the King of Swords. So it feels like you were dealing with someone. It feels like I just accidentally picked up, oh my gosh, this is magic. Anybody who doesn't believe in this is like, it's just magical. I accidentally picked up these cards, which I'll show you in a minute. But I was talking about healing and recovery, someone having clarity. You could have been dealing with someone who was trying to look at this connection very logically, and maybe they detached or they were cold with you. Two of Swords in reverse shows very stagnant, stuck energy. It also shows someone prioritizing work or something else over love. But the Two of Swords is actually about, when it's in reverse, it's about needing to go within. So it's like this light has been red until I think both of you go within, but I think also your person. I feel like you were dealing with someone with, I think maybe you both had unhealed things, but I feel like the person you were connected to, like maybe you had a bit of a jump start on your healing. But there was this need to go within, and it's like the universe gave both of you a red light because there was a need to go within, Two of Swords in reverse, for healing and recovery and to gain clarity. And underneath that, we have Ace of Swords, which is an epiphany, a breakthrough. Light bulb. It's also about communication. And I feel like you've been waiting. Yes! I knew that download came in for a reason. So I feel like maybe, you've been waiting a while for communication. But remember I said, I'm going to say it. I'm seeing the Two of Pentacles. And I got a very specific download. And that's kind of why I grabbed this deck, because I was curious if it was going to come through. And maybe not all of you will resonate with this. But I was hearing your inner world reflects your outer world. And I was seeing this card. So if you were connected to someone, or maybe this is a little bit of you too, if you were connected to someone whose home looked like this, or their car, or their desk at work, someone who lived like this, that thing, your outer world reflects your inner world, is completely true. So think about it. If their outer world looked like this, what do you think their inner world looks like? And that's the download I got. And I can give you an example for me. Ever since I started healing and I started this spiritual journey, I used to have nothing in my room, and now my room is like full of things that make my soul happy, full of tarot cards. It's my own space. I feel very safe within my space. But, and I always talk about this, I have like one corner that's kind of a doom pile. Shout out to all you ADHD people with doom piles, and my closet. And after I got the download about this card, I was thinking about it. And I was thinking, what is my closet that's in my outer world? What part of me looks like my closet in my inner world? So I clearly still have things that I need to do shadow work on, if that makes sense. So like I said, if you were dealing with someone who was like this, what do you think their inner world looked like? Or looks like? Anyway, I'm going to stop now. I get so excited during readings. We have Destiny. Tarot reader. Fated events. What is for you will not pass you by. And you have to believe that. It doesn't matter if you like pushed them out the door and said, I never want to speak to you again. It doesn't matter if, like, don't try and think of, maybe I should have done this, maybe I should have done that. If it's meant to be, it'll come back around. We have a year, a long period. So you've known this person for at least a year. For some of you, you've been in no contact for a year. We have authentic, and that's exactly what I was talking about that is one of the things about the feminine, is that they need to learn to speak from an authentic place, to not hold back out of fear, to not be afraid to put up boundaries, to not be afraid to speak up about their needs in fear of being rejected or having their person run again. So it feels like there's an authentic conversation coming, especially with that 9 of Swords and King of Swords. And then we have this month within weeks. So I feel like this communication is coming this month within weeks. And then finally we have showing care with words of affirmation, speaking with love. So this is like heartfelt communication. So I want to let's get 3 more. Let's go 3. 3 more, please. Didn't want to come out, whatever it was. All right, this is just getting more and more interesting. Now we have this week within days. So for timing, we have this week to this month. What is that? That's a seaplane. Look up what a seaplane means spiritually. I'm serious. Look up what a seaplane means spiritually. So this is about, this person wants to fight for this connection. And if they come in their same old deceitful ways, I feel like you're going to speak authentically and stand up for yourself and keep your boundaries. I'm not saying that's how they're showing up, but that's the download that I'm getting. And we do have fulfillment, happy, feeling very happy this week, this month. And we have trust. So like I said, if this person shows up and you feel like you can't trust them, stand your ground, keep your boundaries. But I feel like this person is coming in with honesty, speaking from a place of love, speaking from a place of regret. And we have beautiful. So this is the Empress card. So this is what you're attracting in. You don't need to search outside of yourself for this. And I feel like you're magnetizing this person in. I feel like this person could tell you, you know, inside and out, you are beautiful. All right. I've got a pain in my third eye all of a sudden. So what is your intuition telling you? Because when I get that, that's my third eye. So maybe you're having third eye pain, which is in your forehead. It could be about, you know, actually, when the communication comes in, listen with your intuition. Don't listen with your ego. You know, don't let them trigger you. Listen with your intuition. And if their energy, remember how I was talking about the guy across the street. If there's something off in their energy, trust your intuition. You know, and your body will tell you. If they communicate with you and you start feeling like you're having an anxiety attack and you feel emotionally unregulated and your body is not feeling positive things, that's your body's way of telling you that something's not safe. So listen to your body and listen to your intuition. All right, let's get into this. We've got the 3 of Pentacles. That is about wanting to get on the same page and cooperate. I hope this is recording. It is. Good. We have the 5 of Pentacles in reverse, which is about positive change, and it is about someone coming in from the cold. And we've got the Nine of Wands. So the Nine of Wands is, there is a message, you're wounded and weary. No. Yes, you're wounded and weary from battle, but you persevere with hope and determination. It's also about like the final push. So it feels like this could be coming soon. Nine of Wands is also about love that is very triggering, love that is not easy because it leads to self-improvement. All right. So what the heck do I want to look at here? Where do I want to start? Where do we begin? Where do we go from here? We have death, rebirth, transformation, Scorpio energy. So fall could be symbolic. This rebirth could come at in at fall, which is what? When does, don't judge me where I am. Does fall start September 21st? I don't know. I don't know. But there's some sort of threshold being crossed here. You know, leaving the old behind. Knight of Pentacles, very slow. Very slow. This rebirth has been slow to happen. And then we've got the King of Pentacles, Eight of Swords in reverse. So I do feel like this person, maybe they were an entrepreneur, but I feel like you're going to see a new perspective of them. And like I said, collective reading, let your body tell you and your intuition about this person, because I feel like if they show up in the same energy, Seven of Swords, you'll know. Your body will tell you. Maybe you'll even feel sick, I don't know, but you'll know intuitively. What is that rumbling noise? Anyway. All right. Let's just look at your energy. Show me the viewer. Show me the viewer. Well, we've got the Four of Swords in reverse. So you are healing. This is beautiful. Healing, awakening. So I feel like you have been through an awakening. You've been through a rebirth. Four of Swords, you know, you could even be feeling like you need to get out more. You could have just been through a period of really keeping to yourself, staying home. Maybe you weren't feeling well. Maybe you were spending a lot of time in bed. And I feel like, you know, you're trying to get out more, or you're feeling like you could get out more. You could also be thinking about exploring new love or being open to new love. But I'm more seeing this as self-love based on this reading, because you've got self-love up here. So I do feel like you're going through an awakening, or you have been through one. Maybe you've been through many. We don't just go through one. And you're focused on your self-love right now. The Four of Swords in reverse can also talk about like not wanting to put pressure on something. So maybe you're not wanting to, I don't know why I'm hearing put all your eggs in one basket. Does somebody here watch Love Island? Recovery, beautiful. Release from isolation. You could be feeling a little restless, like maybe you've been, maybe it's been a long time, right? What else? Maybe you are incorporating mindful practices into your routine. Maybe you are feeling like you need to treat yourself with this energy. All right, let's see your person's energy. One more. Ooh. Ooh, sorry. Aw, schnookums. It's funny. I make a lot of funny noises. I don't know why I'm telling you this, because I'm autistic, and it's called, oh my God, the word is escaping me. What is the word for vocal stimming, or when you, I don't know why I can't think of the word. That's going to bug me. Ah, that's nice. Well, I'm just going to try not to think about that, because do you ever get that? Like something it's just on the tip of your brain and it just drives you crazy until you remember? There's a term for it. Anyway, I make lots of funny noises, and the funny thing is I didn't get my license until I was like 27. And when I was on my driver's test, I was making those funny noises. Anyway, not a good look. But your person's energy, we've got the King of Cups, and please notice all the kings we're seeing. So maybe you have multiple people in your energy, or this is your person maturing. This is reminding me of the reading I did. I did a reading the other day like this. So King of Cups, this is someone who is maturing emotionally. They're in their emotions, very intense emotions here with the King of Cups, listening to their intuition and healing. And with the Ten of Swords being in reverse, this person is learning lessons and they're healing the shadow of the King of Cups. So let's talk about that. The shadow of the King of Cups is someone who puts in low effort, someone who can come across as emotionally manipulative or selfish. So your person's actually in really good energy. If you know what the word is when you're autistic and you vocal stim, can you please tell me? Because why can I not remember it? Anyway, that's going to bug me forever. This person, you know, this is about healing, learning lessons. It's also about wanting reconciliation, wanting to put a connection back together. And on the bottom, we have Temperance, which is about balance. And this is exactly the energy that I was talking about with my necklace. So your person is in a more balanced energy. They've been very patient about coming towards you. And there's this desire to compromise, to come together, to meet in the middle. Now I'm hearing that song, Why Can't You Just Meet Me in the Middle? I'm losing my mind just a little. Not the other middle, although that song could be symbolic too. Anyway. Sagittarius energy, we have Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. This is someone who's healing. Froggy in my throat, releasing, cleansing, healing. And then underneath we have the Six of Cups. I never showed you what was on the top that I flipped over. It was the Lovers and the Queen of Cups, which the Lovers is a divine connection. The Queen of Cups was the energy I was talking about like overgiving, self-love. Anyway. So they're feeling very nostalgic, wanting to reach out to you here. All right. Let's see how you feel about them. How do you feel about them? How do you feel about them? I just saw the Four of Pentacles. Aww. I just saw the Four of Pentacles go whoop. And the Four of Pentacles would tell me that you feel like you haven't been able to let go of their energy. Not surprised. Look at what came out, the Four of Wands. So for how you feel about them, it does feel like you want reunion. You want commitment. Maybe you see this as your counterpart. This is the 1111 card. Maybe you are married or are married. And we have the Three of Pentacles. So you know, it looks like you would like to work things out and cooperate if it could be an energetic balance, right? If they could get on the same page as you. Two of Cups. So it feels like you want to have an honest conversation with this person, that you want unity, you want partnership, you want like a mutual connection where they give and you give and you work as a team. 2, 3, 4. Could be symbolic. 2, 3, 4. And you've got a 1 there. Maybe you're seeing 1, 2, 3, 4 a lot. That could be an indication that you're coming into alignment. Let's see how they're feeling about you. For some of you, there could be a wedding coming up. Like not your wedding, but maybe you run into each other at a wedding. How are they feeling about you? Oh, that I just said that was on the top when I accidentally flipped over the cards. My ears are ringing. Lovers, Gemini energy. So look at how the two of you feel about each other. You both feel this connection. This is someone who feels like a strong bond with you. And the lovers, a lot of people experience the lovers and they can't handle it because it's triggering. It makes you face yourself. It's not an easy connection, even though lovers' energy is beautiful. It's very intense and not everybody chooses it. I'm seeing that message card. We fall in love by chance, but stay by choice. So this person chooses you is what I'm hearing. Oh, we've got the Eight of Pentacles. So this person does want a renewal. They want commitment. They see commitment with you, and maybe they had a fear of commitment. And we've got the Tower in reverse. That's interesting. So the Tower in reverse, let's talk about it. Because the Tower in reverse can talk about internal change. And I was saying the outer world reflects our inner world. So the Tower in reverse reflects like this person feels like they needed to work on themselves internally in order to be in this connection. The Tower in reverse is also about, it's about for how this person feels about you. They could have chosen to work on their career, making this connection very unstable and weak. I feel like the Tower also talks about a foundational shift in the way they view love. Let me look. You could have changed their mind about love. Making adjustments in love. So this person feels like there's adjustments they need to make if they're going to commit to you or this is going to work. I want to get one more for how they're feeling about you. How are they feeling about you? Oh, we have the Star Aquarius energy. So this person, you know, feels very connected to you. They feel a very healing energy from you, which can be triggering. It's hard being like someone who's a healer because you trigger people without, like you don't even have to try, you trigger people. I like how that's so similar to the Ace of Cups as well. So this person does feel hope that there can be a renewal here with the Star. But I feel like, you know, this person has had a revelation that there's things they need to heal. And on the bottom, we have the Queen of Wands for how they feel about you. So this is someone who feels, you know, sexual attraction towards you. They feel a spiritual connection towards you. Maybe they don't know what that is. But very attracted to you. You're like a magnet to them with the Queen of Wands. And this person could see you glowing up right now, online specifically. Nine of Cups, they see you as their wish fulfillment. All right, let's look at their intentions. Intentions, please. What are their intentions? Did a card actually flip out? No? All right. What are their intentions? One more. There we go. We've got the Two of Cups. So their intentions are to have a heartfelt and open conversation with you. See? Right there. That's what that is. So their intentions are to have unity, partnership. I think that's what you want. But the Two of Cups is also about having a heartfelt conversation about, and to clear up miscommunications, to clear up maybe the imbalances that were within this connection. Oh my gosh, we've got the Lovers for their intentions. Choosing to communicate. And I said, we fall in love by chance. We stay by choice. I just heard we come back by choice. So this person's intentions are to choose you. to reunite with you, to have a partnership with you, and an honest conversation. Let's see what action they're taking. And we're gonna go, let's see what action they're taking this week, because we have this week staring at me here. And then we have this month as well. So I'm gonna do both. So this week, Spirit, what action is this person taking this week? What action is this person taking this week? Well, we've got the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles does show a reconnection of some sort, or them reaching out to you through work. For some of you, they could be waiting. So if you don't hear from this person, don't freak out. The letter S could be symbolic because we've got the Seven of Pentacles. So this person wants to see if you can get on the same page. But for some of you, and I'll do within the month as well, but the Seven of Pentacles can be about waiting. So it's going to differ for whatever your situation is, because for some of you, your person may be ready to reach out this week. For others, they may be waiting until their intuition gives them that green light, or they may be waiting for whatever they're waiting for. Because this one does talk about waiting to reconnect with you. We've got resolution, Five of Wands, Ace of Wands, that's action. So there could be some sort of conflict in their life that they're waiting, or a blockage in their life that they're waiting to be removed, whatever that means for you. I think some of you this week, let's look this month for the collective, this month. This month, what action is this person taking this month? Well, we have the Ten of Cups here, we have Death on the bottom, and we have the Four of Cups in reverse, which is clarity, awareness. The Ten of Cups talks about coming home, talks about emotional fulfillment. Emotional fulfillment was underneath this card. Four of Cups talks about putting more effort into the connection. And maybe you don't see this coming with the Four of Cups. And then we have death. So there is a rebirth coming. Let's get one more. This month. This month. We have the Knight of Cups, which does show, oh my gosh, which does show a romantic message. Someone wanting to rekindle something. And then we've got the Empress and the Fool. So Taurus, Libra, Aries energy. And this is about, remember we had that beauty card, the last card that I pulled, and I said Empress. So this person definitely wants a new beginning with you, taking a leap of faith. You don't have to chase this. This is coming to you. And this card with the Emperor, that shows someone taking a leap of faith towards you, wanting a healthy, sensual, committed relationship, the Empress. All right, let's get some messages from this person. Yeah. Messages. What messages was I going to use? These ones. I just saw 4:14 on my clock, so that automatically makes me think of the Emperor and Temperance. Anyway, what does this person want to say to you? What does this person want to say to you? What does this person want to say to the viewer? Don't go on the floor. Missed opportunity. I'm struggling to find the right path. So right now they're struggling to move on from you. Broken. I feel broken, or sorry, I feel shattered about the situation. Someone here could be from the UK. We have indecisive. I know my inability to make a decision hurts you. Missed opportunity. I didn't act when I should have. Neglected. I failed to give you what you need. I felt like you didn't care. So I gotta tell you something about this card. A person can only meet you where you are. And one thing I talk about being unhealed is, and why self-love is so important, is if you don't love yourself, how are you going to believe that anyone else loves you? How are you going to trust that anyone else loves you if you don't love yourself? Do you know what I mean? What am I hearing? Am I Ready by Lizzo. Doesn't she say that? Doesn't she say something like, how am I supposed to love if I don't love myself? So my point is that if this person didn't love themselves and didn't believe you cared and you were giving them love, they could have felt like you didn't care about them because they were lacking that within themselves. I hope that makes sense. Or that could be vice versa. That could be you. Or, you know, maybe this person walked out of your life or the universe put that wall up and you didn't chase after them. And then they felt like you didn't care because you weren't chasing them. Or maybe you walked away, leaving them feeling like you didn't care about them. You did care about them, but you had to care about yourself more. And I was raised that to care about yourself more is selfish, which is a bunch of bull. It's a bunch of baloney. You know what? Somebody said to me the other day in my comment section, the way that I say car is a dead giveaway that I'm Canadian. And I was saying this to my friend, and then I was in the car, I was in the car, and I was like, ooh, look at that car. And I'm like, oh, there it is. I hear it now. I don't know why I said that. Channeled messages. Mistake. Self-love. Exactly what I was just talking about. So if you don't have self-love, imagine these are your hands, okay? And this is you without self-love. And somebody's pouring love into your hands, but you don't have self-love. Where's that love going? It's going here. It's falling out of your hands. But if you have self-love, anyway. Holding back, I should have expressed myself better. So this person could have had a way of expressing themselves that wasn't the healthiest, or maybe they didn't know how. Like maybe with that King of Cups energy, they didn't know how to express themselves emotionally. Mistakes, I wish I could right my wrongs. And regret, I wish this had never happened. The stress from this is draining me, and they have that card right there. So Spirit's saying 3 more. I don't know why. 3 more. 3 more. 1. I can't take all of those. I'll take that one. Look at all the ones that came out. I can't possibly take all of those. So we have runner. I don't want to run anymore. Understanding, I see your side of the story. So they do see your perspective now. And we have shadow side. You made me realize my flaws. All right, I'm done. I know that I talk a lot. I'm going to stop now. What is it called when you're autistic and you copy noises? Echolalia. Thank you. Oh gosh. That was bugging me the whole reading. Echolalia. That's what it is. Echolalia. All right. Anyway. I love you. I hope you guys have a good day. And I will talk to you all soon. And like I said, I'll try and do the Pisces twin flame reading tomorrow. But like I said, those readings, like you heard how many downloads I got during this one. Those twin flame ones are insane. I talk a lot about the twin flame journey in them. The point of the journey, and I get a lot of downloads. It's been very intense. 1.5 hour readings. So, and then they leave me feeling a little bit drained. So I've only been able to do like one every second day. But Pisces, you're up next. Water signs, you're next. And yeah, sending you lots of love and light, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.